All right, so we got an early start this morning. We got out of the hotel about 6 o'clock. We made it through, you had a little bit of highway, then you got over Pacific Coast Highway, so we followed that. We hit Rudy's Diner. That was the first checkpoint of the day. We were there, they didn't open till 8, and we were there about 7.
How's the car running, Rich?
It's fantastic. The steering wheel is a lot as straight as it used to be after the top end of the track yesterday. It like bottomed out 3 times. I probably should have walked the track. That was pretty short track. Other than that, it's working great. Loves this temperature. The freeway was fantastic. The view's fantastic. It's snowing at home right now in Alberta. My wife said she's going to wake up to the white stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to wake up to a beach view. So all of it's fantastic. What's amazing is how many people follow along. Like at Verona yesterday, I don't know, there was half a dozen people that were like huge fans and had been following, and that's pretty humbling and pretty cool to, they're just so excited to see us on the east side of the country rather than the west, or I mean the west side of the country rather than the east, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm gonna try something different at the next track. I've been struggling with boost management and traction, so I'm gonna make some big changes and see if that I'm gonna actually put it right back to where the 6 week chassis was and boost control was, and see what that does. But this is more about the drive. It's only 4 days of racing. We're still competitive. I think I've still made like 10 runs already, and I'm a few miles from home, so we'll make a few more attempts, but in the end, as long as I get home in one piece, that's still winning. So
We then stopped at Isky, so we followed the route, and then we went to Isky. We actually ran into Ed Iskydarian himself at his restaurant that he eats at, or used to eat at every day. All right, we got Nolan here. Made our stop at Isky.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Checking it out. If you want to know everything that Ed owns, it's here. Well, actually, they got rid of a lot of it already. Oh, there's Cadillac. Some of these, I wonder how the car got back here, because it looks like everything around the car has been here forever. Yeah, there's Cadillac and there's Lincoln. There you go, your little Pontiac Sunfire or whatever that was. A bunch of corks for airplanes removed before flight.
Yeah.
Why would you have a whole basket of those?
That's the thing, it's crazy.
There you go, there's a barrel full of lifters. That's a NASA pressure chamber. They're not quite sure how it got here, but it's here, along with an airplane engine sitting right next to it. You got right there, 751. Contract number. Oh, property, even has this property of U.S. Air Force still on it. Yeah, it's stack engines up there. You got a Hemi. Is that a Cosworth?
Here's my favorite engine.
All right. This Subaru, you got another old Chevy pickup truck. Looks like 55. A Biscayne, I think. Oh, they put cardboard over the engine to make sure it stayed good.
To save it.
Yep.
Start right up.
Should fire up. Oh yeah, she's a Biscayne. Nolan is trying to recollect where his favorite engine is. Dang, that is cool. Oh, that was on a ship? That's a boat engine? I thought it was an airplane engine.
Yeah. It's here because at one point they were doing something.
Culberson, and it's a boat engine. I thought for sure we're looking at an airplane engine. When you look at the exhaust pipes, and they were running open header because there's like a little mesh or whatever on it, so they were running it like that. Obviously they were running it, this was like a run stand.
Yeah.
That's where they were running it.
It ran. They were doing something with it, I'm not sure.
Dang.
nobody quite remembers, but it was here and it ran at one time.
Another airplane engine for you.
Twin disc.
But before being ground, she straightens them first. Beforehand. You just gotta relieve them, basically.
All right, so what we don't see down there is the master plates, the follower, so that when the cam's in there, this is what they have in there to get the cam to basically follow that low pattern.
Yep.
It's in those master plates there.
Yep.
So they're getting ready to run this cam.
Yep.
You said what? When the
Hydraulic
red's
roll.
off is when they know
Yeah.
it's roughly where they need it.
Yep. And so you know that's a dual pattern. She'll do one side and then the other.
That's what, Nolan?
That's a double overhead Jaguar cam. Yeah. This is the Jaguar. So this is a Jaguar Master.
Gotcha.
So the opening, closing side, of course. And this is what he will put on the plate to grind that Jaguar.
Okay. And then how did this get created?
These are all created on a Haas. So it's Haas CNC makes these Masters.
That's what we just watched over there was the old way of doing it, which they still do it that way for a lot of the stuff, the smaller quantity stuff, but this is the new way of doing it. One cam every 6 minutes. Over on the other stuff that we were just watching, one cam every 40 minutes.
That's it. That's the one. So from 40 minutes to 5 minutes.
And it's done.
Yep.
So one beer per cam.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the original lobby. It's been here since the 60s, and this is where Ed would hold court with Vic Edelbrock Jr., Nick Arias, Carroll Shelby, all the different racers that would come into town. They would sit here, talk, and then they would go to lunch up the street. For years and years, Ed has his own booth at the restaurant up the street.
Does it still exist?
It's still there. Yeah, the
Okay.
Fabulous Burger.
Fabulous burger.
Yep, he's got his own booth, and he's got his picture and everything in there, and a picture of all the old guys like John Adams.
Guess where we're going when we pull up.
Yeah, you gotta. It's right there, so you gotta check it out.
Cool.
But yeah, a lot of history in this lobby with all those guys. That was just a regular current, so you would stumble in and see all these guys.
That's where Ed naps at.
Yep.
He's oh, Detroit Lions pillow.
Yeah.
Look at that. And even that, he's a Lions fan.
Yeah.
So it was by habit chance. We got the tour of Isky. Then we ran into Ed at his diner. We ate, and I'm like, that's Ed right there. I've met him before. And so Ed and I got to have breakfast with Ed and got on our way. And then we stopped at Huntington Beach. Everybody told me that they're going to impound my car in Huntington Beach. Somehow we made it through Huntington Beach, and not a word.
Austin Hart, car's a 72 GTO. It's got a 6-liter LS in it with an automatic 6-speed 6L90. Car was set up by setting it up for Death Week to have a M122 supercharger in it off a North Star. And a week before we had to leave, I took it to the dyno, blew apart the power steering pulley, took out the power steering pump, couldn't finish the dyno tune, so we pulled it all back apart, put the NA setup back on it, tuned it back out, loaded the old tune off the computer, and started doing Death Week. I mean, I knew the car would work, so we're just doing it now. It's slow, but it'll make the run, and we'll have fun for the week. On the 8th, it's just 190/60 foots, slow, and I was trying to get the supercharger on it to make up the power difference down low. And now that it's back in A, I mean, best time out of it's been like an 820, so it's just a slow street car, but it's fun to take it out here and do the route, and it runs good, it cruises good. I mean, we're cruising down the road at 70 mile an hour at like 1800 RPM, so double overdrive, big cooling system, We ran 180, 190 all the way through the desert in 104, 105. So cooling system, and then yeah, it was just a good time.
Now we are at Neptune's Nest, which this is from the Fast and the Furious movies, where the famous Neptune's Net. Nest, net. See, there you go. Ricky corrected. He knows Fast and Furious better than me. So now at Neptune's Net, and then on our way, we still got to make it up to Santa Monica, and then we got to go inland. Like there's still lots more day to be had, but been an awesome cruise so far. Traffic, we've gone through stints of heavy traffic, but nothing horrible, nothing unmanageable. So we've just cruised along, been on our own pace. So I mean, and it's only, we're at this point, and I mean, I think it's 1 o'clock, and we've had several stops where we waited there for a while having a beverage, and obviously the tour of Isky. So there you go. We'll catch you up with the rest of the day, maybe at the next stop or the end of the day.
Does it make a quarter mile?
We did 8th and 5:41 yesterday. But
What flavor?
rainbow sherbet.
Pistachio or die.
All right, so we are at the Santa Barbara Pier, right? Okay, Santa Barbara Pier, second checkpoint of the day, second official checkpoint. So a lot of people. We dropped our trailer parking lot over there and then drove out here. So get our picture and then onwards and upwards. I think next official checkpoint is officially the end of the day at the hotel. So not sure how far that is, but that's where we're off to next.
Wait!
I went to the house from the Fast and Furious, the original movie, to their place. I went by Harry's Speed Parts, and then stopped and visited the Museum of Death today. And yeah, now I'm here. So it's been a good day. Car's just cruising along, enjoying life, relaxing, having a holiday.
figure out that what we thought possibly was happening was happening. Definitely was an issue with the head gasket or block or some combination of both, because it's hydrolocked now after I shut it off because it was getting hot, and then I'm like, doesn't make sense, fans running, shouldn't be getting hot. So it possibly cracked the block because it was already cracked, and then we finished it. Better find out now than later, I suppose.
Then at the track. When we broke the beams tomorrow.
Hey, I found the broken end of the dipstick. I fished it out with a magnet out of the oil pan. It's been bugging me, and I'm like, I'm gonna drain the oil, get a magnet on the stick, and I had one, and it was just freaking nature. I got it to come out. So, all right, I'm back to a happy guy again.
How was your day today?
Day was great. Last night, I kind of bugged out on everyone. I wanted to get through LA because it was like, man, that city is crazy. After we did our pass, we just drove till midnight last night, and we stayed at Oxnard. Slept in till 9, which normally I don't, but I was wiped out. Went to the wharf, hung out there for about 5 hours watching people come rolling in, and then it was like, it was an easy day, but my mind's been twisted because of this stupid dipstick, and I'm good. So you can see where it tapped the crank somewhere and it just knocked it apart. But all in all, trip's been great. I did some jetting down because it's running really rich. I'm getting 10 miles a gallon right now, where I now, for the way I jetted it down, I should pick up another mile a gallon per, to make it a little bit better. But now I'm gonna put an effort now into, okay, let's start tuning it now once we get to Bakersfield. So we'll see what we can do. So I'm probably gonna pull the wheelie bars off as well, because I want this thing to hit hard, and I think I'll be all right.
Obviously, that side is either cracked head gasket or cracked block or something. That water is getting into number 5. I think this has been our problem since day 1, the cooling. Because granted, it was only in Michigan, but we never had a problem with cooling, and that's a bigger than stock radiator. And granted, this is more horsepower than stock, but it's still a Gen 3 Hemi, same water pattern, same water jacket as a stock car. Like, it's gonna cool roughly the same. That's bigger than a radiator that we need. Crazy fans, crazy water pump, all, like the whole thing, that it should cool fine. So me and Bob started theorizing, was it yesterday or something, that it was a blown head gasket or something, that because it blew water out at the line right after the launch, which is a pressurized system. Like, it doesn't just pressurize the water system for no reason. And then when he got on it, then it really pressurized the system. Luke got the picture of it all spraying out this side because the cap just was blowing it all over, and it was hydrolocked. So I think it's been a problem since, at least since we've started racing.
We have a borescope, but the borescope's broke because it was in there with all the other tools, so we can't look at it. We really think that we're screwed.
Hey,
but
that's you thinks that. I don't think it's a head gasket.
don't know. It hydrolocked it, so we're just wishful thinking that somehow we could put a band-aid on it, but
That shouldn't have done that.
yep. When you crank the engine over, water's not supposed to squirt out of the radiator
Considering
cap.
it's an electric water pump. If it was mechanical, it'd be one thing if the water pump was turned. makes you think it's definitely a block and not a head gasket.
As AJ said, on these things, it ends up cracking the top of the block. I mean, we've been fighting overheating all week. We babied it today for the most part, up until the burnout. And then literally that finished off what probably was a hairline crack and made it a lot bigger crack. We're gonna find out sooner or later. If we didn't find out right now, we're gonna find out in Bakersfield as soon as tried to make a pass with it. So
as soon as you start the burnout, it would have been the same exact thing.
So right now we're in Buellton, California. Everything that you see here, from what Keith Turk has told me, belongs to one gentleman, and his family is now keeping it going for him. And they actually live upstairs from all of this right here. So that is their residence right up there. So the deal is, this guy sold open close signs, like the sliding open close signs. So every time he would go to a business, he would talk to somebody and say, hey, do you have any old gas signs? Do you have any old road signs? That kind of stuff. And so he amassed this huge collection of these and sold off some of the ones that he didn't want to use. But what you see here is basically his collection that he's amassed over a lot of time. And the other cool thing is him and Keith Turk know each other because they've both raced like Land Speed, Dry Lakes, El Mirage, Bonneville, so forth. So if you come down to this last garage here, his Land Speed car is down here. It's a small block Chevy powered car. But again, there's so much stuff here. I haven't even had a chance to look at everything, and it is an amazing collection. This is his Land Speed car right here. So as I said, basically a really cool small block Chevy deal. You see all the Bonneville stickers on it. I believe that has a 175 mile an hour one on it as well. Keith would probably be able to give you more information because how they met is Keith Turk and him are both in a very small group of people that have been enshrined into the Dry Lakes Hall of Fame. So because of that, they all get together every couple years and decide who's going to go into the Hall of Fame next. So that's how they originally met each other. And ironically, David Freiberger from Hot Rod Magazine is also in that club as well as a historian on one of them.
What's up, dude? How you doing? So we decided to last night miss LA traffic, so we were gonna just go a little ahead. And about 1:30 in the morning, we broke a rocker arm about 3 miles away from the hotel.
That's the 1:30 a.m. carnage right there.
So we hit Ruby's Diner for the checkpoint, and then we bonsai'd because being California folk, we know LA traffic is miserable. It fucking sucks. So we thought it was a good idea. We were like 20 minutes away from that checkpoint from Stearns Wharf. And that's when all of a sudden I'm like, oh crap, it's misfiring again. Pull out the point and shoot, found the cold cylinder. And I mean, I'm just super grateful for the universe because I mean, I don't know how many clean breaks you can get. That's clean break 1. Like I said, and then I've been carrying around the other ones too. I don't know how many clean breaks you get, but I'm definitely, you know, everybody always says like buy a lotto ticket or some shit like that.
Yeah. So this morning we decided that we were kind of figuring out what was going on with it, and so we took our time this morning and addressed a lot of the issues.
And then I made a rush Summit order parts for hopefully tomorrow. Make it to the next hotel. Gonna get a Summit delivery there and hope for the best, you know.
I don't know a lot about the Gen 3 Hemis, but somebody said that it's a cylinder wall, then there'll definitely be water in the oil. If there's no water in the oil, then it could possibly just be a head gasket. We're just trying to decipher on tearing it apart and having a whole bunch of parts here that we don't, that then we got to put back together to scrape with, or if we could possibly fix this right here. So that's what we're trying to dissect right now, because we didn't bring spare parts for it. We really weren't expecting to have engine problems with this. So
yeah, I mean that's
all
just
right.
water.
Yep, we'll put it back in. according to the last Hemi test that somebody told us, that means that is the block. So, because it is full of water, I mean, literally water pouring out. We don't even need to drain the oil, like it's all water coming out. Get this one out. Oil pan's full of water. Oh no. We got a problem, we still haven't solved the problem. We haven't figured out what's next. For sure, we got a problem with the engine. For sure, well, 99% sure the block's broke. So that's where we're at with it. So now it's figuring out it's Monday. We're in wherever we're at in California. So my rig is in Phoenix, and question is either how to get this stuff to Phoenix or my rig back here to grab it, and then work on another long block so that we can fix it to then return towards the end of the week. I mean, it definitely wouldn't be Wednesday at FAMOSO, but hopefully to make the Vegas part of it and then make it back down to Phoenix. And then this is, I mean, this is supposed to be going to SEMA next week as well. So trying to figure all that stuff out. It's not just a simple, hey, let's get this back in the rig and let's get it home. Like, that's not where we're at. We're other side of the country right now. So right now looking at the options to fix this and then be able to run it later in the week, and then all the other good stuff with it. And the competition for us, I believe, I mean, technically we have till Wednesday afternoon to show up ready to run in Bakersfield, but I don't believe that that's going to happen. Tomorrow's Tuesday, and literally everything is a long ways away from us. So so that's a wrap on this, and hopefully we'll give you more information when we have more information and we got better details. So thanks for watching, guys.